Jalen, a black boy, is chasing his biggest dream. Will the world around him accept him, or does he have to rely solely on his own strength? It started with a whisper, not a bang. Not a stage, not a spotlight, just a dusty back row desk at Lincoln Heights School in Raleigh, North Carolina, and a boy who saw more in a folded sheet of paper than anyone ever gave him credit for. Jalen Rivers was 12 the first time someone told him his dreams were too loud. It was a Tuesday, the kind that pressed sweat into your clothes before noon. The air conditioning had given up again, and the windows barely opened. Room 22 smelled like pencil shavings, old erasers, and frustration. Jalen was in the back, as always, not hiding, just watching, quiet, fingers dancing under the desk with a sheet of notebook paper. His fifth plane that day. Maybe sixth that he didn't think anyone saw, but Ms. Hargrove always saw. 35 years teaching, hair pulled back, so tight it looked angry, glasses riding the tip of her nose like they were judging you. She spun from the board mid-sentence, chalk dust catching the light, and zeroed in on him like a hawk spotting a field mouse. Mr. Rivers. Her voice stopped the room. What exactly do you think you're doing? Heads turned. A few kids snickered. Jordan Ellis, front row big mouth, let out a loud uh-oh that echoed. Jalen didn't answer. He never did, not in moments like that. His folded plane sat half-finished in his lap, sleek, sharp, wings clean. He'd worked on the balance all weekend, testing different folds in the alley behind their building, while his little sister Isla counted seconds on her unicorn watch. MS. Hargrove marched down the aisle, heels clapping like a warning. She yanked the paper from his hands and held it up like it was evidence of a crime. Paper toys? During math. She scoffed. You think this will take you somewhere? Jalen said nothing. His cheeks burned, but he kept his gaze low, fixed on the initials carved into the desk by someone long gone. You're wasting your time, Mr. Rivers. And worse, you're wasting mine. While the rest of this class is learning something useful, you're doodling, daydreaming, playing. She crumpled the plane slowly, each fold cracking like a tiny bone, then tossed it in the trash. It landed with a dull thud. Jalen flinched. Not outwardly, not enough for anyone to see, but inside, something folded tighter than any plane ever could. I've seen boys like you, she said, cold and certain, bright-eyed, full of noise. End up working night shifts or not working at all. Because dreaming don't pay bills, Mr. Rivers. Not unless you wake up. The bell rang before he could respond. Not that he would have. What was there to say? She had already decided who he was. Outside, the air was thick and buzzing with summer, even though it wasn't summer yet. Jalen walked past the corner store with the flickering neon open sign, past Mr. Glover's barbershop where the old men played chess on milk crates, past the bus stop where his mom used to wait after night shifts before the hospital gave her weekends off. Their place was on the third floor, cracked brick, paint peeling, but home. Alana Rivers was stirring macaroni on the stovetop when he walked in, still in her teal scrubs, eyes tired but kind. How was school? She asked, same as always. Fine, Jalen muttered, slipping behind the faded curtain that split his mattress from Isla's toy corner. He didn't mention Ms. Hargrove, or the plane, or how small he'd felt. His mom didn't need more weight to carry. Isla was drawing suns on the floor with an orange crayon, singing something tuneless but happy. That night, after everyone was asleep, Jalen clicked on his flashlight and unfolded a fresh page from the back of his notebook. He folded slow, precise. A new design, stronger wings, a narrower nose. He tested it gently across the room. It sailed smooth, brushed the curtain, landed by Isla's scattered crayons. She stirred in her sleep and murmured, "You flyin', Len?" "Maybe," he whispered, and smiled. The next morning, everything changed. Principal Owen's voice boomed over the speaker system. Too early and too excited. Listen up, folks. Big announcement. The Tri-State Junior Inventors Expo is happening right here in Raleigh this year. Real judges, real prizes. We're talking scholarships, summer internships. And guess what? They've added a flight design challenge. Paper planes, distance, and control. Gasps rippled through the class. Jordan Ellis jumped up like he already won. Jalen felt his heart thud. Sign-ups by Friday. Owen's finished. Don't miss your chance. The room buzzed like a live wire. Jalen stared down at his notebook, the margin filled with winged sketches. For a moment, he heard Ms. Hargrove again, that voice like a door slamming shut. But then he thought about last night's glide. The perfect arc. His hand went up. "I want in," he said. The day of the school qualifier came fast. The gym at Southview Middle was packed, bleachers sagging under excited students and proud families. Alana had taken off work early, something she rarely did, and stood at the back with Isla, her arm around her daughter's shoulders. Jalen stood off to the side, holding the Soarer, his latest and most precise design yet, cut from white printer paper he'd begged from the library, wings lined in perfect symmetry, corners razor crisp. Jordan Ellis was already strutting near the judge's table, his red and silver plane practically glowing under the gym lights. "Y'all ready to lose to Lockheed, Jr.?" he shouted, flashing a grin. Some kids laughed. Jalen just stared straight ahead. Principal Owens stepped up to the mic. "All right, students. 10 throws. Farthest flight wins. Let's see some brilliance." Jordan went first. His plane launched hard, dipped, caught an updraft, and slid to a stop at 18 feet. He pumped a fist. "Beat that." Jalen stepped to the line. His palms were damp, heart galloping. He closed his eyes for a moment, heard Isla's little voice whisper, "Fly high, Jalen." Then, with a deep breath, he flicked his wrist and sent the Soarer sailing. It cut through the air like a bird, floating longer than gravity should have allowed. Landing clean at 22 feet, the gym gasped. Isla screamed. Alana smiled, so hard it looked like it hurt. The duel began. Jordan's second throw hit 20. Jalen's climbed to 24. Back and forth they went, 26 to 28. Then 29. Jordan stalled at 30. Jalen exhaled. One last throw. He stepped up, tuned everything out. The squeak of sneakers, the whispers, even Jordan's muttered, "You're done." He focused only on the paper in his hand and what it meant. Every night, under a flashlight. Every library book. Every time Ms. Hargrove said he was nothing. He threw. The Soarer arced up, caught a current like it had wings, and flew. 32 feet. The place erupted. Isla jumped. Alana clapped till her hands hurt. Even Principal Owens blinked in disbelief. Ms. Hargrove, arms crossed, didn't smile, but her jaw tightened like maybe, just maybe, she saw something shift. Jalen Rivers was going to nationals that night. Alana pulled out a jar from the top kitchen cabinet labeled "emergency only." She pried it open and counted every wrinkled dollar. "We'll get you there," she said, brushing his hair from his forehead. "Whatever it takes." 3 months later, they stood outside Georgia Tech. Jalen wore his cleanest jeans and a too-big hoodie. The Soarer was tucked carefully into a folder, corners still sharp. The campus buzzed with kids from all over the country. Parents, reporters, judges in NASA polos. Jalen barely spoke, just nodded at directions, eyes locked on the launch zone. Round 1. Jordan's new plane, shiny and taped like a toy, hit 30 feet. Jalen's? A clean 34. Round 2. Jordan pushed to 32. Jalen answered with 36. The murmur started. Who was that kid? That throw was unreal. Final round. Jordan went hard, too hard. His plane veered off and nosedived at 25. He cursed under his breath. Jalen stepped forward, wind steady, air heavy with silence. He tossed. The Soarer danced, sliced through stillness, glided, kept going. 41 feet. Gasps. Applause. Screams. Isla was yelling something, but Jalen couldn't hear it through the pounding in his chest. The scoreboard blinked. Jalen Rivers, first place, 41-foot doctor. Elaine Powell, a NASA engineer in a blue blazer, approached with a microphone. "Jalen Rivers," she said, smiling wide, "you've just won the National Junior Flight Design Challenge. We'd like to offer you a full scholarship to our summer aeronautics program in Huntsville, Alabama. Do you accept?" His voice cracked, but he said it strong. "Yes, ma'am. Thank you." Alana pulled him into her arms. Isla was dancing in circles. Jordan stood off to the side, jaw tight, arms crossed, but silent. Ms. Hargrove approached slowly. Her heels clicked on the gym floor. She looked at the plane on the table. Then at him. "I misjudged you," she said quietly. "You proved me wrong." Jalen just nodded. "Thank you, Ms. Hargrove." He didn't need her approval. He had his own. Back home, neighbors came by with cupcakes and soda. Mr. Gibson from the corner store brought lemonade. Alana hung the certificate above the couch. Isla made a sign that read JLNTO NASA. That summer, he boarded a bus to Huntsville, backpack stuffed with books, notebook full of designs, the soarer still folded crisp in his pocket. He was no longer just a kid in the back of room 14. He was the boy who dreamed, folded, and flew. And the sky? It was only his beginning.